What's up, guys? My name is Giovanni Cano. I am a director and filmmaker with Battle Comics Studios, and today I'm going to be following around Dale and AJ from the Ghost Research Society. And this is going to be one of my documentaries from my documentary series, The Way They Live. I'm following people around, random people, and just seeing the way they live. But I've been heavily connected to the paranormal for a long time. I've actually based one of my comic book series on the supernatural, the spiritual world, St. Michael's Special Operations Group. I personally have had some experiences with the paranormal, and it's always left me with a lot of questions. So I'm here today to follow them around to kind of see what the professionals do and what the professionals think about the paranormal, and maybe get some questions answered. So here we go. What got you into paranormal, like even investigating any of this?
Well, I've just had an interest since I was a kid. You know, you walk by a dilapidated house, oh, that place is haunted, man. You know, and hearing ghost stories and movies and things like that. And, you know, some people have these really intricate stories of this ghost, of seeing a ghost or apparition or something, but really, when the paranormal shows started coming out, like Ghost Hunters, Sightings,
Sure.
In Search Of, things like that, that kind of got me interested in it.
Well, this is the main road going back to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. This is what they call Bachelor's Grove Road. And this was the original road that the cemetery was on before they put the turnpike over here. Once they put the turnpike, they closed off this area, and it looks like the cemetery's out in the middle of the woods. Well, it wasn't. It was right along the main road at one time. This road went all the way down to like 151st in Harlem, close to where there used to be a school called Bachelor's Grove School. And we got pictures of that as well. Now this location here is probably one of the most haunted places I've ever investigated. It's, some of the stories going way back to the 1950s, some of the paranormal activity. This was originally a settlement of German and Irish immigrants that came over from overseas in the 1830s. They settled in this area on different small communities: Bachelor's Grove, Cooper's Grove, Smith's Grove, Sourbeard Graves, which we're going to see next. In around 1864, they secured about an acre of land from John Everdeen and made this a cemetery, even though there are graves that date back before 1864. There's some graves dating back to the 1830s. They say that lights are seen up and down this road. Blue lights, sometimes what looks like almost like a Roman candle going off, skyrocket effect going up and down this trail. And people have seen that for many years now. I don't know if any bodies were actually dredged out of here for sure, but there are a lot of other activity that takes place in and around there. So we can just walk down this way and get into the cemetery. I can tell you some more things and point some. Throughout this area, there have been all kinds of strange things that have happened. People have seen a woman dressed in white, sometimes carrying a child in her arms, that has been seen roaming around supposedly on moonlit nights. So we're not exactly sure what that story is, but I mean, I'm often wondered if the woman in white that people have recorded was the same one that we recorded on the stone of checkerboard tombstone. We've given everybody a map of the location. They walk together in teams of two all around the perimeter of the cemetery and came back and at home to just mark on the map where they felt unusual. And a number of people marked that checkerboard tombstone right here where Kim was at. And so after we compared the maps, there was like 2 other spots. One was the Fulton Tombstone, the big one over there. And then I think there was another one back of this area. I'm not sure offhand which one it was. It looks like a woman dressed in white, kind of a pale gown of some kind, down to her ankles. She's got auburn or brown colored hair. She's staring out this direction in profile. And part of her face and part of her right knee, you can see through. You can see bushes and trees through. So she's like semi-transparent. The lagoon, you take a walk over there, but that lagoon basically is really kind of murky. It's green. Some of what I was able to kind of dig up in my research is that back in the 1870s, this would have been farmland. This would have been homesteads out here. And there may have been a farmer that might have been plowing land out here, very near to the lagoon, where maybe the animal got spooked, maybe it got stung by a bee, we don't know, and just kind of ran headlong into the pond. And back then they had those harnesses that went around the farmer, so he got pulled in too, and they all drowned. And that was back in the 1870s. So over 100 years later, the first report of that took place was reported by Cook County Sheriff's Police. This fence was actually put up in 1976. I actually have a video of the brand new fence, and it was secure, but then throughout the years people would cut holes in it. The gates are gone, and with trees falling all over the place on top, it's got unfettered access. This is the largest tombstone in the cemeteries, John Fulton. He died in the 1830s. He's one of the founders, perhaps, of Bachelor's Grove in this area. And they got this little grave called Infant Daughter, and you can see it's very highly decorated with little play toys, balls, stuffed animals. Sometimes people put coins on them. It's supposed to be good luck to put a coin on there. It's supposed to be bad luck to remove a coin from there. The very last official burial in Bachelor's Grove was 1965. That stone is missing. We can't find it. However, in 1989, relatives of the Shields had the cremated remains of their loved one interred in the cemetery, just the cremated remains. There was no burial. So that's actually, that marker there will say 1989 as the death date. Again, a lot of these, they date back to, the 1800s. Robert E. Shields, you can see, October 10th, 1989 is the last official burial of some kind, cremated remains. Here. We're going to try to do a couple of EVP sessions in here real quick, especially over there on that checkerboard tombstone, and maybe elsewhere. I will say that I did bring a professional psychic in here in 1982. Her name is Pat Schenberg, and she was the president of the Illinois Society for Psychic Research. So she was a gifted psychic and a clairvoyant. She had never been here before, and we got her on videotape and audio tape. As soon as she walked in, she stopped and she said, the far stone along the fence over there, she saw what looked like a woman in white kind of beckoning for her to come over. And right away I said, well, can you give me a name? Because I kind of know pretty much all the locations of names in the cemetery. I've been here so many years, but I said, can you give me a name? And she said, if you go to my website, there's a transcript of the entire session. And she said, kind of a strange name like Dora Meyer or Myers or something like that. So we went over there, and the family plot is under the name Warren, but her name is Dora. It says Dora on the stone. And that kind of really got my hairs standing on the back of my neck.
I bet.
She was maybe in communication with something.
That's one thing that I always wondered about, is like how they're still trapped in their time, and what is their understanding of our time, or do they conceive it? Do you believe that some people could actually go into that time? And what I mean by that is maybe like there's like a pocket of space-time.
Yeah, it's like a time slip.
Time slip, yeah. There's been reports of people that have, they go in a quick time slip, and then, they come back. Do you think that's possible?
Well, there have been books written about that. There's the two ladies that were in Europe. I don't remember exactly where it was. It was France or Austria. And just for a few seconds, as they walked out of their hotel, everything changed. They were in cars, there were carriages, there were not street lights, there were gas lights. And it lasted, they said, for only about 30 seconds, and then kind of came back. And they both saw that it was a collective experience. The famous movie Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve, as he willed himself to go back to the time period where Jane Seymour was. And then there've been so many other movies about time travel and so forth. I don't know if that's actually theoretically possible. It might be more of a cerebral experience than actually going back there.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. What do you, Chuck? What do you think?
One theory I had about ghost hunting is like, if you see a shadow person or a voice or something, there may be picture like a veil here, and it's like a crack in the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
Where you guys are on that side, and you see me just going about my business. Like, whoa, did you see that? And in the voices, sometimes just the voice may come through.
Did you have any other questions?
Yeah. What makes a bad ghost and a good ghost?
The temperament of the individual when they were alive. If you were a bad person when you were alive, you might be a bad person when you're deceased. You carry certain characteristic traits with you. I don't necessarily believe so much in a lot of the stuff that's on TV is demonic and all that stuff, even though I was born and raised a Catholic, so they teach you heaven and hell. And they teach you a purgatory, something in between.
Sure.
And maybe the purgatory is what we are experiencing when people see ghosts. They're not in heaven, they're not in hell, they're like in an earthbound state between here and there. Maybe it's a self-made purgatory in some cases. They will themselves to come back or stay around here. But I've never come across any cases on record, even in written literature, of anybody ever being harmed by a ghost, okay? Because again, I believe the ghost could be no more harmful or mean than it was in real life. If that person was a terrible person, maybe a mass murderer, maybe a John Wayne Gacy, he would be a very nasty person maybe in life, but he actually had almost a split personality, the Gacy, where people that tend to be more level, more subdued, more kind and gentle, that's the kind of spirit that you would see them often portray. I mean, they have their own chance to change their own personality, but in some cases they just want to stay the way they were when they were alive. So it's not necessarily that they become a nasty or good ghost. It's just what they were when they were living. That's my belief. Ghost hunter to me has always been synonymous with you got a gun and you're hunting a ghost. No, you're not actually doing that. You're basically trying to communicate with them, try to find out what the whole why they're here, who they are, and if necessary, try to help them across to the other side.
Sure.
And in many cases, they don't realize that they have died. If you can explain that to them that they are dead, they don't belong here, sometimes they just pass on. Or I might say, reach out to friends and loved ones on the other side that have already passed for guidance, and in some cases, they leave. I'm not a ghostbuster, so when I go into places and homes, I don't necessarily do that, but I do work with psychics and other people that are more intuitive that might be able to do that. We try to document that when we do investigations of private homes and so forth, and that's a whole other ball of wax. But the public investigations, I don't mind sharing with people, because anybody can come out here or other locations and try experiments yourself. We're going to try some experiments in a little bit over here and try to see if we can get anything at the checkerboard tombstone.
Okay. You're not getting fit?
Don't ignore Christ. Wow.
Don't ignore me, Christ.
Yeah, you hear that? Don't ignore me.
Don't
Yes.
ignore me. Very
Aggressive form of about Linda.
about Linda.
This is Devin? Who's Devin?
So more, I mean, a lot of
Yeah, that Phasma box is right. That's the new. That's the new version. The radio's off. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why, but anyway.
Beats the hell out of me how to use it. You have to connect it to, I think, an SB somehow. Oh, maybe connect it to the computer.
Reverse mode activated.
Yeah, don't push it. Very going back.
Can you tell us your name? Can you say hello? Hello? If there's anybody here, can you touch this device right here? It'll go off when you get close to it. Are you male or female? Why are you still here? She ain't. Who are we talking to here? Who's next? Who's buried right here in this stone? If we take pictures, will we capture you on a camera? Who are we talking to?
Oh, that's the one you said. Oh, I thought I was looking at. Oh, that's Bonaventure. I was looking at the.
There are so many people who want to communicate with you now.
I can only reverse it. What's your first name?
Moose? Where are you from, Moose?
Hi, Bruce. I'm Dale. Can you say Dale?
Oh. Okay, well.
Can you say my name, Dale?
Jesus Christ.
That you shall not.
Using a full spectrum camera. Snapping the infrared, ultraviolet. Anything you want to tell us? President of the United States right now? Who's the president?
You shall serve him, keep one who is
We shall serve him.
city to carry out. It's running.
How many people are we talking to?
All that hunting, that's
Who's Bruce?
the update duty for Jack.
Still confused.
That crib. Really take. That would be perfect.
Perfect.
That would be a perfect.
City of Conduce.
It'd be nice if you could tell us your name.
How did you see her?
Schweitzer.
What's the name of the cemetery?
Cindy. Q beam without working.
So I said,
I'm lost.
I'm lost.
Just two hot spots over there on the right
Okay.
side.
I live here.
I lived here.
I live here.
I lived
I lived here.
Only for you.
I didn't get nothing in this at all. Damn.
only for us, only for you. What does that mean?
I'll find out.
How tall? Is she tall?
She just came in for a second. She went there,
Yeah.
over there, and
Are you
Just walked
frightened?
around and I was just
No, we're not frightened.
Say?
No, it says, "Are you frightened?" I said,
No,
"No,
I'm not.
we're not frightened."
No,
What do you think?
this is my first time
Bring it
here,
to
the
me.
first time
Bring what to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your feelings out there? Anything?
Nothing
can't
here,
leave.
but everything
Why
over
can't
there.
you leave?
Really? Okay.
And then the clear,
Sergeant.
the one where you could hear it clear. Yeah, and I get this all the time at home, Dale. It's especially up in my attic.
Okay.
Have we met?
And his
No.
name's Frank. Okay, I'm ready.
What's your name?
My name's Kim, which is another German name.
Do you like me?
Yeah,
Sure,
Kim.
why not?
Wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? Was ist dein Name? Was ist dein Name?
God.
Gott?
God.
Ist dein Name?
Speaking Spanish?
German.
Oh, German. Okay.
German. Dein Name? Say, das ist schön.
¿Cómo se llama?
No, das ist in German. They're German.
I know.
Das ist schön.
You know,
Yeah?
the language you speak. Sometimes they speak in different languages. I swear that when you
Yeah.
listen to some of the stuff, it sounds like German
Yeah.
or something.
Ja, das ist schön. Ja?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Was vermisst dich?
Might be speaks a little German.
Was vermisst dich?
I meant it.
You meant what? That you can't leave here?
I can't get through.
I can't get through.
You can't get through what?
Warum? Warum nicht?
Monster.
Warum nicht? Bist du krank? Was ist los?
Here's the mouth for these people.
Bist du krank?
He's still listening to you.
Wie heißt du? Ich heiße Marina.
Dog.
Ich höre Sie. Ich höre Sie auch.
Energy.
Ja. Ja.
You are funny.
Danke. Viel Spaß. Viel Spaß. Ja?
It's a full spectrum camera.
Viel Spaß mit dich.
You like her speaking German to you?
It's a UV on IR. It's full spectrum. Plus visible light, but it's very light intensive.
Viel Spaß
There's some
mit dich.
supplemental IR, supplemental lightness and kind of
That's what I had. Purple.
Was vermisst dich? Was vermisst?
We'd still like to know your name.
Ja, hoffentlich. Wie heißt du?
You got quiet all of a sudden.
setting change.
Any spirits yet?
Wir deine Freunde. Ich bin deine Freunde. Sie ist deine Freunde. Er ist deine Freunde. Und
He told me.
danke. Oh, we're your friends. He's like, he told me. Ja, wir ist freundlich. Das ist alles. Du bist doch freundlich. That's all. We're friendly. We're all friendly.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know you're all friendly in here.
Wrong. Warum nicht?
So not all of you are friendly.
Warum nicht?
Who is not so friendly? Failure. Who is not so friendly here? Man, woman?
She was the only one that
On the table.
I only had a few stories.
I mean, that makes no sense.
You're welcome.
Worked before us and
On the table?
On the table.
Ich habe nicht eine Table.
Hell. Do you see all those machines over there on the concrete stucker? On the
Scratch.
we don't want you to scratch. On the
Out.
Verstehen Sie mich?
Undoubtedly.
Dale has been here many, many, many times. Do you know Dale?
Grandfather. Are you scared?
Nope. No, we're not scared. Because you're nice, right?
It makes no sense. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for chatting with us. We appreciate it.
Vielen Dank.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Let me look for it. What was that again, Kimmy?
Ghost Tube?
Those two? Oh, those two. Oh, wow.
kind of hanging out. Looks like someone's laying down here.
All right, Dale, it was a great pleasure coming out here, learning about the cemetery. This place is definitely significant. What could you tell us to wrap up about this place? You told us a lot so far. Thank you for that.
Well, the thing that people should take away when they go to a place like Bachelor's Grove is that, first of all, there's a lot of local legends associated with the cemetery that are not necessarily always true. So kind of do your homework, check into these urban legends, because you can pick up some very good books by Jean Brunfeld, which is like urban legend. In fact, I have a copy in the car that I usually take along with me. And be aware that some of the stories that people tell you may not necessarily be true. Try to look at the ones that have been highly researched, that actually have a paper trail, if you will, that people have seen it throughout the years. Sometimes these urban legends are kind of a one-off. Places like this can be interesting to come to contemplate. Their cemeteries in general are usually very peaceful. This being probably the most haunted cemetery that I've come across in my 53 years of doing ghost hunting now. Usually, to wrap up, I would say that normally I would say cemeteries are not good places to look for ghosts. And that being, and I always kind of make this little joke when I'm doing my presentation, is if you died and came back as a ghost, where would you want to hang out? Probably not in a cemetery. There's really nothing to draw somebody back to where their earthly remains are buried. Usually ghosts are seen most often in places where they have fond or happy memories. Restaurants, bars, bowling alleys, movie theaters, parks, fishing spots, where you had a great time when you were alive, and not necessarily a cemetery. But there are exceptions to the rules, and Bachelor's Grove being one of them, possibly due to the great desecration and all the other things that happened here throughout the years. So if any cemetery that the dead doesn't rest as easy as they should, or is probably going to be Bachelor's Grove, because of all the things that have happened throughout the years. But again, it's nothing to be fearful of, and ghosts are not something that you should be scared of. I've never heard anybody being harmed by a ghost.
All right, and if you could leave us with one thing, obviously you do this professionally, and you dedicated your life to it. Everyone that's watching, leave us with one thing. What could you leave us with?
The last thing I just said is that ghosts are not harmful, but they are departed spirits in some cases. Einstein said that energy can't be created nor destroyed, it just changes form. So when we die, our energies, where do they go? We don't know. In some cases, they might linger at places like where they died, where they had a good time, because they used to do picnics and parties here in the 1800s. So I guess the best thing I could say is that when you go to places like Bachelor's Grove or any cemetery or any place that's haunted for that matter, go there with respect. Talk, if you're going to try to make communication, talk to them spirits like we're talking. Don't provoke, don't be mean, don't be obnoxious, just talk in a normal tone of voice, and you might get something really amazing one day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity, and we had a good time. Thank you.